Well, after a couple of false starts, we're live. We're ready to start our morning. Come back from vacation, had a wonderful staycation. Came into work every other day or so and checked on things, signed orders. I want to thank the staff and Judge Pattison who kept things running. He was very busy while I was gone. Anyway, we had some matters that were resolved early this morning. We have a couple of pretrials that are set for 9. I'm going to bring in our attorney on our first 9 o'clock case here. Then we have a 10, and then we have some sentencings this morning. We have a very busy afternoon of landlord, tenant, and small claims cases. It's always that odd feeling on your first day back from vacation where you gotta get back in the swing of things. Although because I came in every couple of days, I didn't really get too backed up. Good morning, Mr. Kirschenheiter. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you, sir?
Good morning. Welcome to Centerville. Are you here on the Bank of America case versus Eric Seehigh?
I am, yes.
All right, that one's set for 9. We got to let the clock tick for a couple of minutes here.
Sounds good.
While we're waiting, I'm going to address a couple of other cases. The case of Middleton Credit Management versus Roxanne Barnes, file 21732GC, was set for a pretrial this morning. We got a communication from the law firm representing the plaintiff on Friday indicating that a consent judgment was on the way, and I'm going to tickle this for 14 days to await that. It appears that matter has been settled. That is file number 21732GC, general civil case. Here probably is Mr. Seehigh, so let's bring him in.
Hello.
Good morning. Who am I speaking with?
My name is Eric Seehigh.
All right, Mr. Seehigh, let me give you a name here. You had 2 cases for today. The first case was set at 8:30, and that was entitled Discover Bank versus Eric Seehigh. And you've signed a consent judgment in that case and asked that it be resolved. So is that your signature on that consent with Discover Bank?
Yes, it was.
All right, and you consented to that judgment. That is file 21159GC. It's quite a bit of money, $20,638.64. I'm going to sign that judgment as a consent. We have another case, which is set for 9 o'clock, which is where we are now. It's 9 o'clock. This is file 21227GC. It's entitled Bank of America versus Eric Seehigh. Attorney Michael Kirschenheiter is here for the plaintiff. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, you are, Your Honor. Kirschenheiter.
All right, thank you. Let me make sure I spell that right. Seven, 5, 7, 2, 2. Mr. Seehigh was, as I mentioned, settled his other case. He supplied an answer that he's working with a debt consolidation group, Whitestone Legal Group, to try to offset his legal debts. This one is also fairly substantial, $13,660.18. Set for hearing today on a pretrial and plaintiff's motion for summary disposition. The summary disposition was filed a month ago. The defendant has not provided a response other than his initial answer. Mr. Kirschenheiter, anything else you wish to add?
Yeah, Your Honor, actually, Mr. C, has resolved this with our office. He has set up a payment plan on the balance. And so that's fine. As to the actual case, though, obviously we have to do something with it. If he agrees to a consent judgment, I could file that under the 7-day rule, or if the court would prefer, I could send him a consent judgment to review, sign, and return.
Well, let's see if I have a potential judgment here. Mr. Sehi, you're working with this debt consolidation company, which is certainly acceptable to us.
Yeah.
Some of those are better than others. I've seen people end up in worse shape. But apparently you set up a payment plan. Would you agree to a consent judgment and attempt to resolve this along with your other debts?
Yeah, that's what my intentions were. I wasn't getting anywhere with the Whitestone Legal Group, and they were kind of giving me the runaround. So I just to say, well, hell, I'm exactly what you said. I'm in worse shape by listening to them than if I would have just dealt with the two places on my own. So I dissolved my contract with Whitestone as far as dealing with Discover and Bank of America, and I reached out to Bank of America on my own, or the Olseys, the lawyer for Bank of America, on my own. I made the first payment and made a payment arrangement. As long as if I pay minimum of $250 the 28th of every month. That's my understanding. Then we've got a payment arrangement.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, well, let's break this down. The judgment money request is $13,660.18.
Correct, Your Honor, plus costs in the amount of $226.
Do you have the attorney fee in there?
We don't ask for an attorney fee.
All right.
So the total judgment amount would be $13,886.18. And Mr. C, he's going to pay $250 a month, beginning this month. By the 28th of each month, he's already made the first payment. And there's no interest accruing on this, Your Honor.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
I really appreciate that.
It is a really big deal because the interest can be anywhere from 6 to 26%. In this case, it would probably be about 13%, in which case you'll actually be able to pay this debt off, because $250 probably doesn't even cover the interest on a debt of this size. So that's a substantial deal. So, Mr. Sehi, do you agree to pay the damages in the amount of $13,660.18 plus $226 in costs for a total of $13,886.18, payable at $250 per month by the 28th of each month, starting in July, which has been paid?
Yes, that's correct.
And then we'll forego attorney fees and no interest. You agree to those conditions?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right. I guess, Mr. Kirschenheiter, probably the best way to do this is to submit a consent judgment under the 7-day rule.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. CI, let me explain what that is. The 7-day rule, we've agreed to the terms of the settlement here on the record. He's going to submit an order to reflect that, and I'll sign a formal order. Under the 7-day rule, he'll send it, you'll get a copy of it, if there's a mistake in it, for example, he puts 23,000 instead of 13,000 or some sort of clerical mistake or other mistake, you have 7 days to object. Or if you wish to change your mind, you have 7 days to object. If you don't, then I'll simply sign it after 7 days and the judgment will go into effect under the terms and conditions we placed on the record here this morning. Do you agree?
Okay. Yes, I agree.
All right. Are you still on Schrader Road?
Yes, I am.
All right. Mr. Kirschenheiter, anything else you think we should place on the record here?
No, Your Honor, that sounds good. I'll get that paperwork filed. And Mr. Seehee, if there's any issues or concerns, you can always give my office a call.
Okay, then thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right,
And I
Mr.
appreciate the
CIO,
no-
sounds like you're
no interest.
working on this yourself, trying to get it resolved. I hope it all works out for you, but the foregoing of interest in this case is a pretty substantial carrot.
Yeah.
All right, do you have anything else you wish to say here? Mr. Seehey?
No, I do appreciate the no interest, though. That's really going to help pay it off.
All right, you're free to go. I'll end this record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And good luck to both of you. Thank you.
Yep. Have a great day.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye. All right, that's our first case of the return to vacation, from vacation. Our next matter is set at 10, which may not go. We have some complicated sentence at 10:30. And as I indicated, a very busy afternoon. Now I've got someone named Brandon Ellison. I'm not sure who he is or what he's doing. Let's bring him in. There's a great deal of discussion now among the district judges and all the judges on returning to live court, whether to and to what extent to use Zoom, whether to and to what extent to use YouTube. And there's a lot of discussion going on online among the district court judges. We have our conference later in August. Wish it was sooner rather than later. Mr. Brandon Ellison, can you hear me? I've got another ideal view of a ceiling fan. I don't have anything that fits this name, and I don't have another case. Mr. Ellison, can you hear me? I can see the top of your head. I'm not sure who he is. I'm just going to remove him. All right, we'll stop this record and we'll find out who this dude is. And we'll be back in a little bit, either 10 or 10:30.